Hello and welcome back to another Pick a Card reading. Today's reading is going to be about your path towards purpose. Purpose in life and what you do and how you can move in that direction to where you can be more fulfilled in your day-to-day life. So before we get started, just find a comfortable place where you can be, where you can rest, and that's away from any distractions. Get a cup of tea if you'd like, or whatever it is that you want. Definitely stay hydrated as we sit here. Each reading will be about 15 to 20 minutes long. So when you have the time and space to do so, come back to this video. All right, so starting out over here, we have pile number 1, and I'll show you the crystal. Celestite crystal, pile number 1. I encourage you all to choose with your intuition or just whichever pile you want. You're not going to choose wrong. It's likely that there's messages for most people in each of these piles. Please ignore my fingernails. I can explain, but I'm not going to. Sorry, this was pile number 2, crystal. And then pile number 3 is this lepidolite. And this purpley stone, pile number 3. And then pile number 4 is this hunk of tiger's eye, which reminds me of like a Snickers bar or something. Okay. So take your time, cast your gaze over the piles, and see which one of them has the message for you today. The message about your path towards purpose. And whenever you choose your pile, all you have to do is go down into the information box below. So just click down on the little arrow and then pick whichever timestamp correlates to the pile that you chose, and it should take you straight to your reading. All right, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to your reading, pile number 1. If you chose this celestite crystal, then this is the reading for you. So let's dive right into your cards. Let's find out some guidance as you travel along your path towards your purpose in life, in all things. So starting with the Archetypes deck by Carolyn Miss. First card you get is Mentor. Light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Shadow attribute, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. So this is your life's purpose. I'm going to just take the light attribute as the meaning of that's what you're supposed to be working towards. Next up, you've got the Martyr card. The light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or to a cause. So you got Mentor and you got Martyr. It's your first 2 cards. Next you've got the Lotus Flower Unfoldment. Beautiful. For your spirit animal, you've got the Snake. Kundalini Rising. Channel your creative passion and sensuality and welcome the transformation that comes from that. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck, your Divine Feminine is Enheduanna, the High Priestess. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. Beautiful. High Priestess energy in the house. Next, you've got Inner Temple, Devotion, tune in to the portal of your heart. And then finally, let's see if I can get most of these cards in frame. I'll put that here. And then the final card that I've already shuffled is from the Black Moon Astrology Tarot deck, Oracle deck. It's Leo, number 17, I will. Okay. Let me move that up a little bit. And make sure you can see all of your cards. I'm trying a new setup today, so it's a little bit closer. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to have other decks to pull from, for example, the tarot deck, and a few more that I've got next to me. One of them is the Sea Melodies. But I'm going to do that after I give you a little bit of interpretation of your cards so far. So as you're journeying towards your life's purpose, or what's going to bring you the most fulfillment, I definitely see a spiritual path for you guys. So it makes sense that maybe you're watching this video and you're already on a spiritual path. You already have your own practice, maybe yoga practice, maybe meditation, or you have tarot cards, oracle cards of your own. I can see that your spiritual practice is going to lead to the unfolding of your highest self. With this Kundalini Rising, the Snake card, if you don't know about Kundalini Yoga, I'll tell you just a little bit. Kundalini Yoga is actually a separate branch from the yoga that you're probably aware of in the Western world, where we do poses and you get an exercise, benefits of stretch. Kundalini is more of a spiritual practice, and it involves mantras, so chanting mantra, which is chanting, and so for example, a simple example would be doing the Om at the beginning of a yoga class. In Kundalini, there's all kinds of chants and sounds, and it's paired with mudra, which is different hand symbols. So Gyan mudra, first finger to thumb, that's kind of a common one, Gyan mudra. And there's so many different mudras as well. So if this is like sparking any interest for you, I would definitely go like grab a notepad and just write Kundalini Yoga or mantra or mudra or whatever, because that could be a key to unlocking some of the gifts that you have as you move towards your spiritual purpose. You have the High Priestess here, so I can tell that your intuition is probably already highly developed. And if you don't know that about yourself, then congratulations, you are an intuitive person. We all are, but you especially, following your intuition, following your inner temple, tuning into the portal of your heart, that's what this card says as well, is going to be the best way to continue on your path to fulfillment, to meaning, to a personal meaning in your day-to-day life. So back to this Kundalini Rising. In Kundalini, there's this idea that at the base of your spine, there lies a dormant energy, a life force that when activated will travel up the spine, kind of like a serpent, all the way from your tailbone, all the way out to the crown of your head. And this activates an unfoldment, an enlightenment. And you can see this card, she's got a big headdress on and then light shining out of her head. So for me, that's either the crown and or the Ajna chakra, the first two chakras at the head, coming together and then creating enlightenment. So maybe for you, pile number one, you could experience a form of enlightenment in this lifetime. Okay, so going back over here, we've got martyr, we've got mentor. So mentoring people, telling people how you got to where you are eventually, and also giving of yourself, martyr, giving of yourself for the betterment of others, for the betterment of the world at large. You're going to be pulled towards callings that involve helping, service to others. So this can be such a multitude of things. Really anything that you're doing, career or otherwise, maybe volunteering would be a good one for you guys. Working it with a community. So whatever community calls to you, you could eventually be a mentor to people younger with experience in that field. You can be the one to show them the way. And I can see for a lot of you, who picked pile number 1, because we have all of this like intuitive, transformational, spiritual, tuned in, tapped in, enlightenment kind of energy over here. I think that there's a possibility that that's what you could be teaching to others as you mentor them, as you guide them through their own spiritual path. And then you have Leo, I will. Number 17. And I'll show you this card again. I could see that in your ability to mentor others with whatever it is, doesn't have to be spiritual. It really doesn't. It can be such a wide array of things. But I do see like a creative flair or a dramatic flair with this Leo card here. You will be one who people will sit and they'll listen to because you're so enthusiastic and you're so warm and you're so very much your own person. You're confident and fearless in your ability to express what it is that you've learned, because you have reached eventually that state of enlightenment, and that ability to trust yourself so much so that you would never even second guess yourself. So that's where that confidence and that drama comes from along your life's purpose. You may be a Leo, so there's a confirmation, or you could have your moon, your rising sign, Mars, Venus, or really any other like in any other stellium of planets. It could be a lot of ways that Mars would show up in your chart. Okay, so we're gonna get some tarot cards for you guys. So we're talking about the path towards your purpose, and you guys definitely seem to have a more spiritual side to you than maybe others on their path. So it would make sense that you're interested in oracle, tarot cards, yoga, meditation, all that we went through. Could also be spiritual through theater, through creative activities, creative pursuits. Doesn't necessarily have to do with your job, but I do see some of you being like a higher up in a job where you're kind of looking after others, less fortunate. So maybe, for an example, working with the homeless people and eventually becoming like the director of the field that you're working in, or working at a hospital as a nurse or whatever. I'm not going to take that one because I was just rambling. Let's focus together on your energy, on your purpose. You know better than I do what your purpose is, and use these cards and what I'm saying as a confirmation. So only take what resonates with you. Can we get a little bit more information for pile number 1 as they move forward on their path to purpose? Finding meaning, fulfillment, the unfolding of their true nature. Can I get a little bit more information for pile number 1, please? A little information for pile 1. Okay. You guys got the Queen of Cups. Beautiful. Yes, Queen of Cups. Incredibly intuitive, like I've mentioned, incredibly empathic. And the Queen of Cups, out of all of the cups that are face cards, so Queen, King, Page, and Knight in traditional tarot, out of all of those face cup cards, the Queen is the most nurturing. She would be most likely to be the martyr in the situation. Nurturing, and she has this wisdom, this ability to mentor others, and the willingness and the generosity of heart and spirit to do so, to spend, as much time as necessary to help another, and recognizing that all of the time that goes and the energy and the effort that goes into helping someone else is always going to come right back around. Really positive karma so far for you guys. Pile number 1, beautiful energy. If you chose this pile, let me know in the comments below if we know each other personally or if we don't, because I would just be interested to see who did choose this pile. Okay, oh my gosh, divine feminine here in the house. You got the Empress card, and the Empress card is all about, again, nurturing. So these cards both have that one aspect in common, this ability to nurture others. The Empress could be seen as the mother of the tarot deck. So and you have Leo here. So Leo rules children. And then the Empress can sometimes point to being pregnant. So your life purpose may just be to be a really beautiful and kind and wise mother to children, or a mother figure. You don't have to have your own children. A mother figure, a mentor to other people as well. This High Priestess, a mentor of intuition, a mentor of how to transform from our lower energy bodies into something that's much more fulfilled and freeing. Tuning into your heart. Yeah, like nobody's going to be able to give you the answers, because the answers live within all of us. That goes for all of us, but you guys have a very clear way of communicating with your heart. Especially, you've got hearts here and hearts here and hearts on this card. You can't see them. Let me show you. This person just has like hearts coming out. You see? Okay. I just got a voicemail from my tower. I really hope that they found my key fob, because to replace it is like $100, and I dropped it in the garage. I think someone might have turned it in. But I just want to say that while I'm reading your pile, like, I'm just feeling very optimistic about that, because you guys are amazing, and I can, we're here together even though we're not watching this at the exact time I'm doing it. I can feel your energy. I want to say love you guys for sure. Oh, dude. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you got the Strength card. You're going to be a strong presence for other people. Definitely takes a look. You got 2 lions, so definitely more Leo energy. But you're like, I love you. I feel like I know some people who might choose this pile, so I'm thinking about them, just because it reminds me of their energy. And you guys are just super cool and amazing and funky, fresh, and fabulous. I love you. You also got the Devil in reverse. So this is a lot to do with the Snake card, and this would be more about the negative attributes that we see here in these cards. So the Devil in reverse means your life's purpose is going to involve letting go of some low energy stuff. Channeling your creative passion, so whatever you do is going to be quite creative. Sensuality, transforming the lower vibration stuff to higher vibration stuff, letting go of addictions, letting go of habits that do not serve you. Like you can see, like the Devil, like it's kind of scary, but don't be afraid. Like you're reading super positive, and it being in reverse means that you see the Devil here, and there's a puppet on some strings. In reverse, it's kind of like those strings are slowly being severed. And throughout your life's purpose, you're going to have the strength to sever what holds you back, definitely, without a doubt. Some things that could hold you back could be addiction to self-pity, perhaps, or it could be the inability to allow students to move onto the role of master. So, like, that's kind of like that mom, what's the word, archetype, mother archetype that loves her kids, but she smothers them and she doesn't really want them to grow up, so she'll kind of hinder their own independence by not letting them know all the things that they need to know. It's pretty deep, but just paying attention to any like patterns that you might have that are that way, because I can definitely see this very beautiful, intuitive, nurturing, creative, abundant, feminine energy that's gonna be, and you don't have to be a female to resonate with this, that's going to unfold from you, that you're going to be able to utilize. Let me see what time we're at, because I did want to keep these a bit shorter. Let's see. I will pull just a couple more cards here from the Sea Melodies Messages from the Mermaids. I freaking love mermaids, you guys. I've been thinking a lot about mermaids recently. They cute. So pile number 1. As you unfold your life's purpose, your path, can we get a little bit more information or just guidance? I love these cards because they just are very straightforward with the messages. Here's one. Patience. The tide will come in when it's ready, so don't feel like you need to rush to be this enlightened human being, this intuitive, this like incredibly nurturing person, you don't have to rush to get there. It's going to take time and patience, and it's going to take experience and living out your life. This is your life's purpose. So we wouldn't want to just be fulfilled today, would we? No, that would be boring. We got reflect, peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back. So now is a good time with patience and reflect is to just think about reflect, for example, on this card reading. Does this even resonate with you? Is this something that makes sense to you? Reflect. You could keep a reflection journal and notice these patterns that are holding you back. Notice what needs to be transformed. Reflect. Do some inner work. Super fun. Let's get one more card for pile number 1. Wild. Ooh, that's fun. Okay. Believe in your otherworldly beauty. Dance with the waves and drink in the sunshine. Yes, especially as we're still in Leo season if you're watching this as I upload. I do see there's definitely a huge part of your life's purpose is to be a nurturing person, to mentor, that kind of softer feminine energy, but you've also got a good balance of masculine energy, yang and yin together. Balancing is going to create a personality that's not only going to be this ocean of warm hugs, it's also going to be this ferocity and this gentle fire that's burning in the hearth, this comforting fire that also is quick enough to dance around, to entertain, to be a little spontaneous, to be wild, to be free. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. Let me pull. I made this little jar of the most random songs I could possibly think of. Literally my iPod circa 2006. Let's see what song comes up for you guys, and this is going to be your final message. Oh my god, sorry, this is adorable. Okay, if you haven't heard this version of this song, then you definitely might want to check it out. Definitely. Over the Rainbow. Oh, let me see if I can get that to focus. Over the Rainbow by Israel Kamakawiwo Ole. Oh, sorry to this man. Kamakawiwo Ole. Oh, that sounded okay. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of really, dreams really do come true. I just wrote that wrong. You get the idea. It's a Hawaiian version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland from The Wizard of Oz. It's talking about following your dreams. It's a very idyllic, sunshiny, rainbowy, happy song, and I think that's the kind of comfort that you can provide to others. I'm so sorry about my fingernail just taking up the full fucking screen. Sorry. Maybe I'll edit that part out. Anyway, you guys are wonderful. Definitely check out that song if you haven't already. Your energy is inspiring, and I want to be better friends with you because you're awesome and you are loved. All right, pile number 1. Thank you so much for sitting through this reading. Let me go ahead and focus in on your cards. If you want to take a look at them for just a bit longer, I will leave this up for about 20 seconds, and then I'm going to move on to the next pile. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, and drink some water. That's about 20 seconds. What's up, pile number 2? If you chose this white crystal, then this reading's for you. So let's dive right in. Let's find out how you can continue on your path towards your life's true purpose, towards meaning, towards fulfillment. Let's see. I'm going to start with these archetype cards from the Carolyn Miss archetype deck. So first card you get is Prostitute. Okay, so some of you may be in sex work, and that is your life's purpose. But if you're not, don't worry about it. I got you. Second card is slave. And so I'm going to read the light attributes. And this says, a prostitute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So that's assuming that whenever we prostitute or whenever we pimp ourselves out, that it is at the cost of dampening our spirit. So the next card, slave, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So part of your path is going to be surrender, and then part of your path is going to be not selling yourself short. The shadow attributes of this card says it places material considerations above security and above self-empowerment. And then this card here, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So this archetype deck is, I think it's pretty solid, but there are some cards that may be a little outdated in terms of what we deem to be socially acceptable and what we say is not socially acceptable. So let me know your thoughts on the meanings of these two cards, but I'm going to interpret them because they came out, and I do think that there's a message here for you. Pile number 2. You got Waterfall, and I remember this one, whenever it came out, it flipped upside down. So I haven't seen all the cards, but this one flipped face up and upside down. So I'm taking that to mean a blockage in your life's purpose, a blockage in the path towards your life's purpose, that as soon as you're able to undam that blockage, then the journey will be a bit more effortless, a bit more flowing, free flowing. So for now, I'm going to have the card upside down, and then we'll see what I want to do with it later. Sometimes I like to flip it right side up once I get the message across. Next, you have Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Okay. For your Divine Feminine, you have Vajrayogini, the essence of all Buddhas. And make sure you can see the card, that it's in focus. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. So liberation, of course, meaning freedom. Freedom being the opposite of slavery. So that's another tie-in to this theme of being controlled or doing something, anything, for monetary gain, or it doesn't even have to be monetary, doing something that's not in alignment with your highest purpose that you feel a slave to now. Your lesson, your way on the path is to free yourself from liberation. And I see the name material, and that it's not necessarily together, but I thought material liberation as well. So maybe for some of you, your purpose could have to do with recognizing that this kind of 9-to-5 wage career job lifestyle isn't something that is necessarily what you want to do anymore, if that's what you're doing now. I'm also thinking that some of you may choose a simpler life, so maybe not making as much money as you would, doing the thing that you were doing before that made you feel like you were selling yourself, made you feel like you weren't in control of your destiny, and going out to nature, perhaps living off-grid for some of you. I know it's becoming a more popular thing to think about doing, but also just spending more time in nature. If you have a career or a job that takes up more space in your life than maybe you want it to. Noticing what's triggering you already along your path, I think, is going to be very helpful, just to be able to reflect on those triggers. I'm going to show you the next couple of cards so that we can get the full picture here before I continue to interpret. Okay. For your spirit animal, it's the wolf. It's heart medicine. Let go of that which does not serve your highest good. So letting go of selling yourself short, not valuing yourself, or doing things that you don't truly believe in just for the gain, financial or otherwise. And then also what doesn't serve our highest good is giving our power over to others. So notice what's triggering you, because whatever is triggering you is likely the thing that you are supposed to get rid of on your journey. You're supposed to get rid of it. And this wolf energy, of course, the archetype of the lone wolf going out on your own could mean that in the career sense of your life purpose, you could be an entrepreneur. Again, I'm getting imagery in this card, as well as these two behind it, of the nature, of forests, of mountains, of solitude, and a more peaceful, a more simple lifestyle. So that's a message for some of you. And finally, you've got one more card. And that is number 9, Uranus, genius. So for some of you, I do think that you may be a loner, and that working in maybe a corporate setting or being a little closer to the more negative aspects of our society in terms of workers' rights, in terms of having opportunities for jobs that really do fulfill us. Maybe you're someone who's going to do things a little bit differently here with this genius card. So what do we know about the genius? We know that up until the moment that their theories are actually proven to the public, they're usually seen as mad or crazy instead of being a genius. So you guys might find that people don't necessarily understand your ideas, or they think your ideas are a bit out there. Your ideas about how you want to live, what that kind of lifestyle is going to look like for you. Maybe that's a lifestyle where instead of so meticulously planning for the future and planning for just having your whole life planned out in accordance to the system that we're already living in, your genius, your madness to others could be to really embrace each and every moment of your life. I think of that quote about letting your life be a blank canvas, and you are the artist, and every day you're filling up another blank canvas, another art. Your day-to-day life could be more creative, spontaneous, definitely erratic, or just not suited for, again, the 9 to 5. Okay, and then I want to point out that this card here looks similar to me to this card here, because in each one there's an image of a person reaching towards something, crouched over and then reaching. So both cards, a position of reflection, what is triggering you, so figure out what that is, and then a position of reaching for something that maybe others can't see. Reaching for the unknown, reaching for a new way to do it, because it's not working, so it needs to be released, whatever it is. And this can be a number of things for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull some more cards from you from my tarot deck. Let's just get a few shuffles in. Pile number 2, as you continue your journey towards your life's purpose, towards fulfillment in your life, what other information can we gain from this reading? Pile number 2. Okay. That was fun. I'm gonna take the 2 of Wands. Should I take this card? Yeah, I'm gonna take this card too. The 4 of Swords. Okay. 2 of Wands can talk about laying the foundations for exploration. So it could be talking about planning a trip and having that trip kind of open you up to a new way of seeing the world. You see here she's holding the world. So if you're planning a trip, maybe to the forest, then you'll get some clarity more about your purpose, your journey along the way. And then also this could be about building foundations around your bigger dreams. So the Ace of Wands, or the One of Wands, would talk about having an inspirational idea that's very exciting, that you're passionate and that you're enthusiastic about. So then in the natural progression in the tarot deck, it goes on to the Two of Wands, and that's when you're putting some stakes in the ground in order to build a foundation for whatever idea or inspiration that you've had. You're kind of expanding on it. So it starts out as an idea, as on a whim, and then you take that first step of action towards the idea. And that could be, that first step of action for some of you could be traveling and being reflective in nature. Maybe even traveling alone. If you've never traveled alone before, someone actually recently told me, actually multiple people have been telling me this, maybe I should listen too, that traveling by yourself is one of the most transformational things that you can do, if you have the privilege to be able to travel in the first place. So the World card I can see over here too. So definitely some adventurers in pile number 2. Next you got the Four of Swords. This is similar to the first pile, and like the advice being that action doesn't have to be taken right this second. To meditate, to contemplate, to reflect. It's a reflection here. You can see this person's eyes are closed in a meditative stance. Take your time. You don't, like, I'm not saying right away go and quit your job. I'm saying lay the foundations and slowly let go of what's not serving you. And if changing your lifestyle to maybe not buying so many things that you don't maybe need, maybe becoming a minimalist and starting to learn to live with less, just in case the money that you have been receiving through whatever it is that you're doing is not there in the future. Preparing yourself to be self-sustaining without this situation that's no longer serving you, so that by the time you have found that you can go on your own, you can do things a different way, you'll already have been living without some of those creature comforts for a while. You got the Queen of Wands in reverse, and that's the final tarot card I'm going to take. I think that there's something here that's blocking you from seeing the potential to move forward with your passions, with your dreams. I think that you're blocking yourself off a little bit to creativity, warmth perhaps, maybe a coldness towards your situation, only seeing it through these eyes that whatever you're doing day to day is so meaningless or purposeless that that nothing could even change for you, that you're stuck, that you're a slave to the situation. So again, back to this waterfall card in the reverse, something is clogged, and I would have to say, for you guys, I would check on your sacral chakra, the second chakra from the bottom. Sacral chakra, also called Manipura chakra, I think, in Sanskrit, but it's all about, well, partially about sexuality, sensuality, and then a lot about creativity and motivation, very primal motivational urges to move forward. And if that is blocked, to move forward and to act on your impulses and to trust that what you want is valid. And more than that, it's what's the word? I wish I knew more words, because I know there's like this perfect word, but I just I'll get there one day. I'll have to break out a dictionary in here. But not only valid are your wishes, it's your purpose. It's all that there is for you to do. So even if you're blocked right now, rest assured that the blockage will turn around, the water will flow, and things will become more effortless for you. when we turn this Queen of Wands energy around, that belief in yourself, that exuberance for whatever it is that you really do care about. But before you're going to be able to unblock, before you're going to be able to work with the magic that you can provide in your own life, before all that, you have to recognize what's triggering you, and you have to contemplate on that. You have to be able to let go of that which does not serve you, and be able to be maybe someone who's on the skirts or the fringes of our society. I think more and more people are leaning towards a different type of lifestyle than what we've been taught is what we should want. So you're not alone. Another word of encouragement, if you are in a position where you can slowly start to move away from whatever is over here, where you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you can slowly move away from that, like I said, by lessening the things that you buy, becoming maybe more minimal, sustainable, by going on trips to nature, immersing yourself in nature and solitude. But also when you are in that place that's not, that you're still, the uncomfortable space that you have to be in until you can let go of it, I would say really try and focus on making every moment sacred. And it's easier said than done, but can you find the good in the moments where you're really just not digging it? That's what these cards are telling me to tell you. So let's go on a little bit more. I've got a couple more tricks up my sleeve. I'm going to start with the Sea Melodies Oracle deck, just for a few messages to sum up what guidance you can use to further along on your path to purpose. Explore. Yes, this is Two of Wands, exactly. Maps show what has already been discovered. Go another way. Okay, this prostitution and slavery, I could rant about, work culture, but I'm not going to. This has been done, and it's been done, and for a lot of people, it's not working anymore, and there's a movement that's moving away from this kind of culture anyway. So explore your options, lay out your foundations. Maps have already been discovered. Go another way, and that's that Uranus energy going another way. Okay. Super fun. I can definitely see you guys getting out and about and taking control of your own ship. Definitely giving me some wolf energy. Take the helm. You are the captain of your own ship, captain of your own destiny. And then rescue. Ooh, help others in need and ask for assistance when you need it. Do you need to be more supported? Do you feel like you wouldn't be supported in making some decisions that might be away from the norm or from the mainstream? Do you feel that you might be chastised or pushed out if you started to speak what you really think, or started to take actions towards your true purpose and what you really want? I get the feeling that there are more people around you that are thinking the same things that you are than you realize, and that others will help you, and in turn you're going to help others. And I think that's really the only way forward for all of us. Pile number 2. So amazing, beautiful. My thoughts, and I was going to say thoughts and prayers, but that's kind of a meme. My thoughts are with you guys. I definitely relate to this pile. So if this resonated for you, leave a comment below and let me know. Okay, and then I just saw which one I wanted to pull and I just grabbed it, but let me explain. This is a jar of songs and lyrics that I chose from the most random playlist on my Spotify. Super random songs. And then the song that you got was No Promises by Demi Lovato and Cheat Codes. Okay, so the lyric is, can you see that? Yeah. I just want to dive into the water with you, baby. We can't see the bottom. It's so easy to fall for each other. I'm just hoping we catch one another. So it's kind of that This hasn't really been about relationships, so I'm going to take out the baby part and all that. I'm thinking it's just asking you to dive into sometimes the hardest part about making a change towards what you truly want is allowing yourself to believe that it's possible. So dive into this new realm of possibility. It's so scary to do. It's super scary. You don't want to be you don't want to feel like you're lying to yourself, you're creating illusions for yourself. You want to feel grounded, but Spirit is saying to dive in, even if you can't see the bottom. Have faith and hope that you will be caught and safe. I think that message is pretty clear. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hey, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this lepidolite crystal, then this is the reading for you. Alright, so let's find out how you can venture towards your true life's purpose, towards fulfillment, and towards meaning in your life. Let this be a confirmation to what you already know. And take what resonates with you, leave the rest. If the pile just doesn't resonate at all, maybe there's another pile for you. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? I'm going to start with the Carolyn Miss archetype cards. First archetype card you get is Visionary. Okay, right off the bat, some of you may be into divination yourselves, just from the picture on the card. But visionary, of course, could also mean the capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, seeing the possibilities before other people see them. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So sharing this vision of a new way of doing things without being attached to any kind of personal gain. Obviously, you can figure that out yourself because that's what it just said. The shadow attribute, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Ooh, I think a lot of us do that for sure. Okay, visionary. Cool. I think this would have been the pile that I chose too, because I would have picked the lepidolite crystal as well. It's one of my faves. Next card, networker, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. And then the shadow attribute, conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. Networker and visionary. I can definitely see some of you as social media peeps. Social media people, writers, like I said, visionary, so divination. Maybe you're into reading tarot, oracle cards as well. Okay, let's see. Which cards do we go for next? Ooh, ceremony invocation. Okay. Definitely some spiritual people who chose this pile, people who recognize that we can use some tools such as crystals, such as cards, such as mantra, meditation, invocation, ceremony, ritual. We can use these tools, following the moon phases even, all kinds of stuff that is available for us to do, some occult, esoteric sciences, intuitive technologies we can use, astrology. I'm just naming everything that I'm interested in, but definitely recognizing the value of ceremony in everyday life. At the very least, the value of having a routine, a ritual that brings you peace of mind and feels good to do, to take care of yourself. I can also see some of you using these gifts, these talents, to share with others. So some ideas that you might get after you've practiced these spiritual practices, being able to deliver that message as widespread as possible. Okay, cool. You got a hedgehog, so cute. Hedgehog acceptance, embrace who you are. Some of you may have a little trouble embracing that side of yourself. Maybe you haven't explored it as much as you'd like to for various different reasons. Embrace who you are. You may have messages as a visionary that are going to sound a bit crazy for those who are not seeing what you're seeing. So even if you come up against ridicule or scrutiny or just someone who just doesn't kind of get it like you get it, embrace who you are, accept who you are, and don't change who you are for anyone. Next card, Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Interesting. How can you mother yourself? A lot of discourse about this idea of, what is it? Self-mothering, remothering, reparenting, unlearning, kind of going back through childhood and looking at the things that you were taught, taking the stuff that resonated with you, the values that still to this day align with who you are, and then unlearning, reparenting those patterns, those ideas that don't necessarily serve you. And the cool thing about that is, if you're interested, you can also like break ancestral or generational patterns that have been in your family for quite some time. So whenever you mother yourself, whenever you relearn or unlearn patterns that are harmful, then that sort of unlocks the ability for your parents, your grandparents, or people in your family to release those patterns as well. Or at least, at the very least, being able to accept who you are. Maybe as a young age you were told that something was weird or different or not right about you, and then learning that that was not true, and that you should have always accepted yourself, and the fact that you didn't was not fair to you, and you're amazing, and you've got a lot to give to this world. That's definitely a huge message from these first few cards. You've got a lot to give, so part of your purpose is to understand and value your abilities and just who you are in general. Okay, next card from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck is let's see if I can say this. Akilanda. Beautiful. Oh, there's a titty. Do I have to cover that up? The goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation, and I choose to become only more love. The goddess of never not broken. Okay, over here with these cards, I think I'm seeing a little bit of a pattern. Let's just flip this one. Okay, lunar eclipse change. Look, it's the other titty. Oh my god, they create a full set of boobs. That's pretty cool. Boobs are great. Lunar eclipse change 43. That's okay. Okay. We in this bitch. Let's do this. You guys must have been told you are unworthy at some point, or maybe you told yourself that you were unworthy at some point, or maybe that maybe you're playing it small. Pile number 3, when you should be, not should, we don't say should here, you will be, as you follow your path, as your path unfurls in front of you. You will become this visionary, and you will have the confidence to share what you know deeply. Ceremony, rituals are going to help you build a ball gown of self-love that you wear every single motherfucking day. These rituals will help you. I would even look up, just literally Google rituals for self-love. If you're not, I assume a lot of you will already be like the type of person that kind of is naturally good at coming up with rituals for yourself. And once you attune to these rituals, to these practices, then change will occur. Change will occur. You will recognize that everything that happened to you in the past that made you feel like you were broken or unworthy, those things happened for your own liberation. This lunar eclipses are known to cause abrupt change. You can think like maybe the Tower card in the tarot deck. So it's not always comfortable, and it's not always pretty, and it's not always, comfortable or pretty, okay? But it's happening for your own liberation. It's happening so that you can acknowledge and embrace who you are, so you can remother yourself, and so that you can share these visions, okay? Let's get a couple more cards. I'm going to pull from my tarot deck next for pile number 3 as they continue journeying on their path towards purpose. Strength card. Okay. This is a great segue for me to mention that the energies of this pile number 3, are super similar to the energies of pile number 1. So if you have time, recommend watching both. Because the strength card, this exact card came out with the first pile as well. I'm going to put the strength card over here. I can raise that up so you can see all your cards. Okay. So again, having that strength to acknowledge the wounded parts of yourself, the strength to recognize that, hey, you know what, I'm not so bad. Maybe you have a bad complex, a shame complex, releasing shame through ceremony. So ceremonies for self-love, ceremonies for releasing shame and guilt. Recommend Googling that. Pay attention to the next lunar eclipse. I'm guessing it's going to be happening sometime next year. That could be a big moment for you guys. The next lunar eclipse, big change. If you start your ceremonies now, also if you need any ideas for ceremonies, I'm happy to help as well. This channel isn't too big yet, so send me an email, leave my email below, or just type a comment and just be like, hey, Lauren, do you have any suggestions for a specific ceremony for this, or this, like something specific to you? And I would be so happy to help you with that, because I too like to perform ceremonies. And so once you start to work on embracing yourself, remothering yourself, having the strength to recognize that your brokenness is also your beauty. Your weakness is your greatest power. Pile number 3. Let me repeat that. Your greatest weakness is also your greatest strength, power, talent, and gift. Let that sink in. That's something that my teacher, Angie Knight, shout out to Angie, she always would say that, my yoga teacher, trainer. Okay? Let your weakness, your greatest weakness, be your greatest strength. That's power. That is power. That is the power to change. That's beautiful. You are powerful. You may, 10 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful. That's one of the most happy, fulfilled, blissful cards of the deck. So once you're able to transform, definitely expect some celebration, long-term celebration, stability, emotional ability to share, to be generous, to give, to create lifelong relationships with as many people as you want, and to feel, maybe for a long time you felt, pile number 3, that there's a part of you that was missing. And your life's purpose is to understand what it means to feel like you're whole again. And being whole means integrating these aspects of yourself, aspects of your consciousness and of humanity, integrating those into the whole. The good and the bad come together, and that is to be celebrated. And then shared with others. I do feel like you guys will have lots of people in your lives, or guides in the spiritual realm, who are rooting for you, because whether they know it or not, they're waiting for you to transform so that you can share what you know with them. Some of you might have some, there's a bug flying around my face, some connection to your mother that can be rekindled from your healing. By healing yourself, you're healing your mother, in a sense. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you to heal your mom. Like, that's a specific message maybe for one of you who share similar wounding as your mom. That wound of not feeling enough, wound of shame. It's very common to be passed through the mother. So you've also got the Knight of Cups. So inviting some romance into your life, some time to be inquisitive, some time to be curious, some time to be leisurely when you're exploring things that bring you emotional fulfillment. Lots of Cups energy. And again, the Knight of Cups also talks about sharing your gifts with others. So I just got an image, like maybe if you're interested in learning, because I see he's holding a bowl, like the singing bowls. I've got one right here. I might as well use it. Maybe you learn the singing bowls, or you learn, that was a little loud. You learn something, and you share that with others, whatever it is. Okay? Let's get a couple more cards from you. These are going to be from the Sea Melodies Oracle deck. Messages from the mermaids. Can I get some information, some guidance for pile number 3? This came out for pile number 2, so maybe check out that pile as well. They could all be connected. Explore. Maps show what has already been discovered. Go another way. Maybe that means exploring different methods of ritual to manifest. I don't know if I've even mentioned that word yet, but manifesting could be big for you guys. You got strength, so strength card and strength. Stay afloat and feel steady and calm. If you feel like you're having a hard time staying afloat because of this wounding, this is just a confirmation, double confirmation that you already have the strength to move through these energies, and it is your life's purpose to do so. You are strong, it could also mean. And being strong doesn't mean being fearless, and being strong doesn't have to be physical. Being strong means saying that against all odds, I'm still going to have hope in myself. I'm still going to embrace who I am. I'm going to have that strength of character to do what I need to do, to accomplish what I need to accomplish in this lifetime. Okay? So exploring in a mental sense, maybe astral exploring, lucid dreaming, exploring the different forms of meditation practices you can use to heighten your intuition. Yeah. And then perseverance, stay the course, keep it up. You're already doing these things. I can tell you that for sure. You guys are already involved in moving towards your purpose. So keep it up. When life gets tough, keep going. Nurture yourself. Whenever I say keep going, I mean don't lose hope. And if you need to take an actual break, definitely do that for your physical, mental health. By keep going, I mean don't let your thoughts become consumed with the idea that you're broken or that you're not enough or that you have to prove anything to anyone. Okay? We got the last thing I'm going to pull for you guys, and that is from this little bowl with lyrics that I wrote from the most random playlist I have on my Spotify. So let's see what random song we get for you guys. We got Don't Delete the Kisses by Wolf Alice. What if it's not meant for me? Love. What if it's not meant for me? Love. So basically, it's a really cool song. I like the song a lot. But it's this person, like, in a relationship sense, it seems like that's what the song is about. And they're like, what if I'm just not, supposed to have the experience of love in this lifetime? What if I'm not worthy of this love? And it's very dramatic, That's probably why I like it so much. So if you're asking yourself if you're worthy, I think I just mentioned, we just talked about worthiness. If you're battling, pile number 3, I feel for you. I totally get it. If you're battling inside your own head What if it's not meant for me? What if it's not meant for me, it being love? And I'm here to tell you that it is meant for you. This Ten of Cups, this ecstatic ecstatic revelation that you are worthy and that you can fill your own cup, and your cup will runneth over, so much so that you can share it with other people. This endless cycle of beautiful, this network of love with people all around you. You are worthy of love. Pile number 3. I love you guys. Thank you for watching this. Let me know if it resonated in the comment sections below. Bye. Hello, pile number 4. This is your reading. If you chose the Tiger's Eye hunk, then this reading is going to be all about your path towards purpose, towards life's purpose, meaning, fulfillment, all of these amazing things. What's that path going to look like for you? I've got these cards already pulled, and then we're going to pull some tarot from this deck, and then we're going to pull some other little messages. So I want to say that I believe we all know what our life's purpose is, but it's kind of shrouded or covered up or veiled by, whatever stuff. It's covered up by, could be things that we learned from society or from our family, things that we learned from our peers, ways that we started to look at ourselves or see our purpose and in a distorted way. So, like I said, I believe we know what our purpose is, and that we each do have purpose. That's just personal belief. And it takes a little time to unlearn and to uncover what that might be. But use these cards and use my interpretation of these cards as confirmation to what you already know. So take what resonates with you, and then if something doesn't resonate, that might be a message for someone else, as this is a general reading. That being said, let's dive in. Pile number 4, what is your life's purpose? And how can you know that you're on the right path? And what's the journey going to be like as you move towards that purpose? Right off the bat, from the Archetype Oracle deck from Carolyn Miss, you have the Priest card. Facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy, and then those are the light attributes, and then the shadow attributes. Violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So I'm going to focus on the light attributes for this because we're moving towards higher versions of ourselves. So for you, your higher version is going to possibly serve as a channel of spiritual energy for others. So think like a priest. Doesn't have to be any kind of religious community at all. Just you being a channel for spiritual energy is going to be part of your path. Okay, let's go to another card. Same deck, you got Teacher. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. And then the shadow attribute, I'll just read it since I read the first one. Manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. But again, we're going to be focusing on the light attribute. So teacher, and that ability to communicate clearly what you know so that others can know that as well. So perhaps spiritual teacher. Let's continue. You got birthing a new age, birthing new creations, and dreaming a new world into being. So bringing about positive change that brings more light and love into this reality. You got breach, whale. Oh, you got 2 cards from that deck. You're the only pile that has 2 cards from this deck, which I can't remember the name of, but If I remember, I'll link it below. You also got new moon, promise. So breach, promise, birthing a new age. You got panther, protection. Consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away to freely. That's what this card says. But focusing on protection, so maybe even protecting children. That's a message for some of you. Protecting the honor of the spiritual community that you're in. And then from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck, you got Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. There's a bug. Goodbye. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. Again, what I said about this card birthing a new age, you're bringing more light into the world. Your purpose is to bring and shine your light to the world. When I see priest, teacher, and Saint Bridget all together, I see someone who's very grounded. I see someone who you'd want to have around in an emergency to keep the calm, to kind of hold the space for everyone else. And again, priest, and then you've got a saint, so definitely could have something to do with what religion you subscribe to, being able to teach sacred teachings to others. Could be part of your spiritual path. Please ignore my fingernails. That's all I'm going to say. Please do that. I know that you guys, pile number 4 especially, have the understanding and the ability to get past my crunchy ass fingernails. Love you guys. You have a lot to share, and you have a lot of light to bring. This breach card, this whale card, whenever the whale uses all of its power and its might to break through the surface, it's also reminding me of this card of birthing a new age. So it hasn't been done yet what you're here to do, and that is to bring about a new level. Let me make sure you can see this card, just at least the word here. Bringing about a new level of I guess to go along with the jargon of my contemporaries, it's talking about raising the vibration of the planet and of the people around. This protection card, you have a very protective energy. People feel safe around you. I think so for some traditional career options, could be a teacher. Of course, you could work in a church or a monastery or wherever, synagogue. Could work in a spiritual house. You could work in a nonprofit. I can see with this Saint Bridget, working, giving of yourself. I just heard an ambulance, so working with people who are ill, who are in periods of crisis. And yes, giving that sense of protection that everything is going to be okay. I see this card promise over here, and part of your life's purpose is to experience peace, experience the quiet peace, the enjoyment of staring out over a lake at sunset with your lover in your arms. Experience deep connection to others, and being able to promise I think you're able to keep promises as well, and that could be something that has to do with your journey, your path to your purpose, is to be very loyal and to be able to keep your promises, and really being careful with what you promise. Promising things to people that truly align with this this birthing of a new age, this dreaming a new world into being. For example, someone asks you to do, let's say a close friend, someone that you love, asks you to do something. It's a little bit shady. That's not like the worst thing ever, but it's like makes you maybe feel a little uncomfortable. And they kind of just expect you to say yes because you're that kind of person who wants to help. You're that kind of person who wants to be seen as a helper, seen as someone who will serve the people they love. Just be careful with who and what who you're making the promises to and what those promises are. Make sure that they're aligned with what you really truly want to bring into this world, because your energy is sacred AF, pile number 4. There's a lot that you can bring into this world, a lot of light, a lot of positive change, love, guidance to others. You're just breaching the surface of your ability, your gifts, your talents that can be shared. So promising things that you feel comfortable delivering is, you got another card. Let me just pull this other card. Moon, soul. Yeah, so you have a couple of moon cards here. So you could be a Cancer or a water sign, highly intuitive, and yeah, going back to this spiritual aspect, your purpose is very much aligned with your soul, and that can be said for everyone, but your purpose may be a bit more intangible than others. Your purpose may just to be healing to other people through your soul connections with them, and your soul connection to the divine, always nurturing, always strengthening that is going to help you move forward on your path to purpose. Beautiful, beautiful energy, you guys. Just reading your cards makes me feel very calm, and I feel like you are someone who's very supportive, and I don't see a lot of stuff that you even need to necessarily work through as far as negative attachments. Even though I know that we all have these things, you seem to be already divinely guided throughout your life. And so instead of having to work on yourself so much as others may need to do in this lifetime, I see you're already in a place where you can teach what you know. And you may have even been born into this life knowing what you need to know. Maybe a very old soul who's here. This came out to me again. My soul is all I need. Moon, soul. Your soul is all you need. And you could be someone who gives up material possessions or gives up chances or opportunities for notoriety because you know what truly matters and what's truly going to make a difference in this world. And that's giving of your soul and yourself. And it's beautiful. 7 of Wands in reverse. Definitely watch out for others who are trying to steal your light, who are taking advantage of you. You may be a people pleaser. You may say yes a little more often than is good for you. You got this card in reverse, so it's like recognizing those instances of when you feel the need to say yes whenever, so that you can see these little people, they're not on your level, and I don't mean to say that in a rude way, but they're spiritually not here. Like, you have been working on your aura, you have been doing the work so that you're glowing and people can see it. You've got like a big smile, you've got a lot to give, like I've said over and over in this reading. And then these people at the bottom of this card, very angry, very jealous. They have spears and they might want to take away what's yours. I can see pile number 4, that this card in the reverse, to me that means that this is something you might need to work on. I know I just said there's not a whole lot you need to work on, but this is something, and it's not so much about you as it is about other people, and knowing how to protect yourself. There it is. Protect yourself and your gift from being sucked by energy vampires, to say the least. So look around you. Notice whenever you hang out with certain people how you feel after the interactions. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel giggly, happy, can't wait to see them again? Or are you kind of like, oh man, that was a lot of my energy that I gave away? Not saying that these people are bad, and I'm saying you could align with them again in the future, but maybe for right now you can distance yourself and then work on what you need to work on, growing the relationships that truly, truly nourish you, because that's going to give you a lot of impetus to be able to share the best parts of yourself with those who deserve the best parts of you, and those who are going to take your knowledge and your guidance and who are going to use it in their own lives. And that's how we create a new world. We first develop a lightness of our own spirits, and then we spread that to others, and then eventually we can make some really positive change happen all together. I love this for you, pile 4. Let's get a couple more tarot cards for you guys. Let's see what else comes out. Okay, pile number 4. So I just saw the 9 of Swords. I'm not going to take it because it didn't pop out, but I saw it. 9 of Swords is all about anxiety and fear and worry and loss of sleep. So if you're anxious about kind of distancing yourself from some people, if you're anxious about not being the backbone in a relationship that you've been in for so long, the carer in a relationship, if you're nervous about distancing yourself to protect yourself, that is confirmation for you that the fear is not unfounded, and it's something that needs to be worked through. Know that you're protected more than maybe not more than any of the other piles, but the reason that you picked this pile, your soul, your spirit wants you to know that you are being divinely protected from anything, terrible happening. You're not going to lose these people. If they're meant to be in your life, of course, they will be. Okay, I just saw the Queen of Cups in reverse. I'm not really getting any more cards for you, but Queen of Cups in reverse, I think, can just point to, Queen of Cups upright is a feminine, doesn't have to be a female, but a feminine energy of a person who hasn't been able to fill up their own cup, so it's in reverse. So they're not taking enough care of themselves, maybe because they're depleting their energy by giving to others. And then she's upside down. She ain't doing great. She'd rather be upright. She'd rather feel nurtured internally and by those around her, and she's not feeling nurtured. Another interpretation of the Queen of Cups in reverse could mean that there is a feminine presence in your life that you might need to. A lot of the same cards are coming out. A feminine presence in your life that you might need to reevaluate that relationship. They might be the ones that are draining you. Too many cards. What's going on? Knight of Cups is talking about romance, and I put it out right next to this card. I think you guys, if you haven't already found your soulmate, I don't usually like talking about soulmates or promising soulmates, but the fact that these two cards came together, there could be a new romantic partner coming in, and they could be a huge, huge catalyst as you continue towards the unfolding of your life's purpose. I see a very beautiful, very romantic, soft energy. You guys like to have quiet time together, or watch the sunset, or just experience the calmer pace of life together. And when you meet this person, or if you already know this person, you're with this person, they're going to be able to help balance you out a little bit. They might have a little bit more backbone and be like, you know what? You really don't have to answer your phone at midnight because your boss is kind of freaking out about the company or the numbers or whatever. You maybe don't have to listen to your aunt on the phone for 2 hours, talk about whatever it is she's feeling that day. You might have a partner that's able to point out the times when you're not taking care of yourself, and this partner is also going to help you to fill up your cup. Like, spending time with that person is going to make you feel full of the joy that's necessary to cultivate this light, to be a light worker. If you guys know what light workers are, you possibly are one of them, even if you don't know what it is. Definitely this pile would be my light worker pile, and those are just people that have lived enough lifetimes, whose souls are ready to share, to spread the light. There's enough darkness in the world. Light workers, light bearers are the ones who are going to keep the balance and shift towards a better future. Finally, you got the Death card, so big changes on your path. You may also work with people who are dying. So maybe if you're like a hospice nurse, that's super specific. You could also be a veterinarian, and you help people who have to deal with death of their pets. This could mean, this can even be, I think this is kind of a cool job. I just got one more card. Queen of Cups came in reverse again. So that's just a confirmation that we saw earlier, to fill your own cup before you help other people. Death, yes, death of this reverse Queen of Cups energy. Interesting. So death of like the person who doesn't have, the version of you who doesn't have boundaries. Death of that way of living. And that's going to be a huge catalyst on your journey towards fulfilling your true life's purpose and towards feeling fulfilled in your life. I'm going to get some cards from this Sea Melodies Oracle deck. Can I get a little advice? Some straightforward advice, in fact, for pile number 4. Change. Know when to move to a new shell, especially if yours no longer fits. Some of you, one of you, might be living in a situation with a roommate or a partner that's just not working out anymore. Know when to move and change into a new shell. And then change more broadly. Change and death go together very well. So coming out after the death and the Queen of Cups in reverse, again, it's just another confirmation that you have to put up boundaries. You have to change the way that you behave in relationships so that you can savor, so that you can secure the positive energy that you have to share, secure it for when it's necessary and when it's going to be most beneficial for the healing of the planet and the world and all the peoples in the planet and the world. Ooh, you know what? I'm getting some like projector vibes. Journey. Sorry, I should probably explain what that means. Confirmation that this is part of your journey. And half the treasure is the journey on the path to finding it. So just enjoying the ride. Don't get too caught up in having to become enlightened before you teach people or you're a priest. I know I just said projector. I'm going back to that idea. I'm all over the place. What I'm thinking is a certain select few of you might be a projector type, and that is in this system called human design. It's a combination of astrology and the I Ching and one other method of divination, which I can't remember right now. It's this really beautiful combination. And if you, here, I'll make it myself a note. So I'm going to put a link in the comment, not the comment box. I'm going to put a link in the information box below. You can click on, enter your birth data, make sure you have your birth time, and then you can find out like a little bit about human design. And like I said in some previous piles, because I don't have too many people following me or watching these videos right now, if you want to send me your human design chart, I can tell you like just the bare minimum of what it kind of points to. So I would be happy to do that. I'm going to make a note. Pile 4, human design. Check it out. Okay. But I said projector because projector is the type of person who has a lot of information to share. So this teacher, spiritual information sometimes, so the priest energy, Saint Bridget, but their knowledge isn't usually received if they are trying to push it out to everyone. They need to be kind of asked. And if you have projectors in your life, if you go in to look into this kind of human design stuff, and you have projectors in your life, then that's a huge green light to ask them for some of their wisdom, because they're happy to share it. They have so much knowledge, so much wisdom and insight into a variety of different topics that it's likely that they could have some good advice for you. So these are the advice givers. So I feel like some of you could be projectors, especially with this new moon. They have to protect their energy more vigilantly. Or just, they just have to protect their energy more. I'm getting Cancer vibes. I'm getting projector vibes. For sure. Super, super beautiful energy, you guys. The final thing I'm going to do is pull one of these song lyrics from this little jar. It's from the most random playlist I have on my Spotify. I hit shuffle and then I picked like, I guess there's probably like 15 different songs in here. So let's see, I got one for you guys. Oops. Let's see what that random song lyric is going to be to close out your reading, your life's purpose, your path to purpose. Okay. LOL. You got A Public Affair by Jessica Simpson. If you don't remember this song, it is interesting. Go listen to it. It kind of makes you want to go skate around a rollerblading rink. That's what she does in the music video. Anyway, says, there go the streetlights. The night's officially on. I got the green light to do whatever I want. I just mentioned something about green light. What was I talking about? I said the green light. Oh yeah, so the green light to ask projectors. I went a little off topic. Green light to ask for advice. And the green light to give advice whenever you're asked. Okay. And then a public affair. I think that your duty, your purpose is to serve the public. Serve the public with your light. Okay? Pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know in the comments below what resonated with you. If you have any questions, let me know. Send me an email. I'll be happy to talk to you guys. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.